Whose faces will be revealed in the upcoming facial surveillance? Whose faces will show they were lurking around or with Sebastian Rogers the last night he was seen, February 25th, 2024? Well, today I take you to Hendersonville, Tennessee, also called Middle Tennessee, 18 miles northeast of Nashville. Population 64,000. And Sebastian was last seen February 25th, 2024, leaving the Texas Roadhouse in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He was 15 years old at that time, and he is now 16 years old. Sebastian is one of the FBI's most wanted, and there is a $500,000 reward for Sebastian's return and those responsible for what occurred to him. Now, Sebastian's father has hired a team to assist since there has been a communication struggle with law enforcement. And that team is Dog the Bounty Hunter, AtNight Intelligence, and One World, along with Seth Rogers and his team. This is his team. They are going to begin conducting face surveillance. And of course, everyone's saying, not everyone, there are people out on the internet saying, oh no, they're doing something that's illegal. Well, first of all, I ask you, what kind of person wouldn't want absolutely every technique possible to find a missing child? So take a good look at those saying that. Second of all, consider your sources, because what states are banned for facial recognition, let me tell you. There is a status of state laws on facial recognition surveillance, and there are 5 states in which you have notice is required when doing facial recognition surveillance. Let me tell you those 5 states: Colorado, Maryland, Montana, New Jersey, and Washington, not Tennessee. So in Tennessee, you do not need to give notice. It is not required when doing facial surveillance, facial recognition surveillance. Testing and accuracy standards are required in 2 states. So they have standards that you must follow while using this facial recognition surveillance. And those 2 states are Colorado and Virginia. Tennessee is not there. Tennessee does not require testing and accuracy standards. Facial recognition cannot be the sole basis for an arrest in 7 states: Alabama, Colorado, Maine, Maryland, Montana, Virginia, and Washington. Tennessee is not one of those. So to recap, it is not illegal to do facial recognition surveillance in the state of Tennessee. As a matter of fact, you do not even need to give notice. Also, there are not testing and accuracy standards required to be followed in the state of Tennessee, nor is that one of the states where facial recognition surveillance cannot be the sole basis for an arrest. Tennessee is not one of those states. So now that we've covered that and you know that it is legal to be used, what is it? Well, face surveillance is facial recognition that allows for covert or even remote identification on a mass scale. So covert and remote on a mass scale without consent. Let's repeat that: without consent, which is so important in the search for Sebastian Rogers, because there has been very little consent given, in my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. We are going based on an update from AtNight Intelligence, and I am also giving my speculation, theory, and humble opinion. So without consent, which I think is very important, because really, those who wouldn't give consent, if you think about it, if you're looking for someone around a missing child, why wouldn't someone give consent? Maybe it's because that's someone that needs to be looked at, allegedly, right? And so here we don't need consent. And DNA, heart rate trackers, and other biometrics can reveal sensitive health data. For instance, if people were out running around in a backyard, let's say, or running around a vehicle, hiding in the neighborhood, whatever the case may be, things like Apple Watch heart rates might increase rather than be a resting heart rate. So one-to-many comparison. Facial recognition systems compare a person's face against many stored templates in a database. So there's a database for templates. And if they don't find that, they will continue by identifying in other ways, right? finding similarities. I'm not exactly sure, but it's fascinating. Surveillance and public use. So it's often used in public spaces for surveillance, identifying individuals without their active participation. I repeat that, without their active participation. So we know we don't need consent and we don't need active participation, which is very important when we just don't have people coming forth. We don't have a suspect named. We have a lot, no one has been cleared, but this might help narrow down that field by identifying exactly who is around Sebastian Rogers. So it brings up a lot of questions for me. Does it bring up questions for you? Whose faces will be detected is one of my questions. And if you have questions too, please leave them in the comments. Why would someone not want all methods used? If you have someone who, just like the bulletin boards, didn't want the bulletin boards up, or saying, oh my goodness, they shouldn't be doing that, or it's illegal, now you know you can tell them it is not illegal in Tennessee to do this. And that's where Sebastian was around the time and the surveillance that would be looked at. So you can give them factual information and then wonder to yourself and look, why wouldn't this person want absolutely everything used that could be used? Ask yourself that. Look at that person, don't listen to him. But why would that person not want this? What faces will be detected? Are they protecting someone? Will LE properly investigate results? And I ask that because we didn't have any response to ransoms, to threats to Sebastian's life, some emails not even responded to, no interaction, no comment to the public, who was frightened because things like trafficking were being mentioned and unaliving Sebastian and moving him in Mexico. And there was no public, comment about safety. So I ask, will Ellie properly investigate the results? Important questions. If you have any, please leave them in the comments. I would love to hear what this upcoming facial surveillance brings to your mind. What do you think of it? And thank you so much. And hit that notification bell. And you say, well, why do I need to? You don't need to, but you don't want to miss my next video in about 4 hours where I show you a face that I think I see. And boy, oh boy, I want you to see it too, because in my opinion, that surveillance will answer a lot of questions and reveal a lot of faces. So hit that notification bell. I'm going to come to you with a face that I believe that I see. Thank you so much for being here. Keep keeping on. We are going to bring Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers home. Keep keeping on, and we will talk soon.